Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be. My name is Marva B. I am the CEO and founder of Black Link Magazine, and I'm so excited that we finally get to have the owner of Alpha Grill, Mr. Frank Willis. Is that right, Willis? Frank Willis?
Yes, ma'am. They call me
Yeah.
Chef Alpha, but yes, ma'am.
Yes. So welcome to Black Link Magazine.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm
Absolutely.
glad to get on this interview.
Yes, I'm glad to have you. I thank you for, supporting Black Link Magazine. You got your half advertising space in the magazine. I hope you got the magazine.
Yes, ma'am. We loved it. Yes, I
Okay, good.
received it, man. Nice picture.
Yes,
No,
it was good.
yeah, I like it a lot.
Good. All right. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this interview, and we're going to talk about your journey in business, and kind of share some gems about about the ups and the downs, the peaks and valleys of this business. But before we do that, go ahead and formally introduce yourself to my audience.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Frank Willis, but everybody call me Chef Alpha. I'm the owner of Alpha Grill Barbecue. And then we spent off with Top That Mac. So our restaurant is on 6670 South Lewis. That's Alpha Grill Barbecue. Top That Mac is inside Mall 31 on 31st and Sheridan. And you can follow us on all social media platforms.
Yes, that is so amazing. Like I'd be so excited when we have Black men owners, Black women business owners that are doing really successful. But it's a journey and it's a struggle sometimes, but we just have to stay consistent. So let's talk about your journey in this business. Like, at what point did you decide that you wanted to start in the food business? Because that's a hard business to be in.
Yeah, it is. It is. So pretty much, I never knew what my passion was. I never knew because I've been in the job industry in the market. I mean, from the bottom to the top. Started out sandblasting, welding, all this stuff, and then I think in 2015 I was in aerospace, and that's pretty much is the ground of how Alpha Grill basically kind of start forming. Not really out in the opening, but start forming.
Right.
So I used to cook a lot all the time. I come from a large family, a family of five. I'm the second to the oldest. So you already know, single Black mother. So you already know everybody have a chore.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to cooking, it's either the oldest or the second to the oldest. And I guess since I always cooked and played around with food, I was designated to cook all the time. So I think the household was 8 at the time because my cousins and everybody lived together.
Right.
So I guess I just cooked so much all the time. So I never knew how to portion out and measure food. So
Right.
when I got older, I did the same thing. I used to take leftovers to work. And my teammates would be like, look, hey, you need to sell food. Man, this food is amazing. So you already know how it is when your teammates tell you something, you like brush it off, whatever, man, y'all playing, whatever. So one day I cooked some my wife got me a smoker for Father's Day. I asked her, I was like, babe, I want a smoker. And she was like, what kind? So I found it. She ordered me a smoker. And man, that's how it really started from that. Just a little Masterbuilt smoker. I think it was a 30-inch in the backyard. I think I started smoking all kind of stuff. I mean, anywhere from seafood to lettuce, man. I was just playing around, just trying to figure it out. And I
Yeah.
came up with a barbecue sauce and everything. And I took it to work. And man, it was a big hit. And it was just like, they just kept wanting more and more and more. So then I was like, man, I want a food truck. But see, in 2015, man, I didn't know no food trucks, so you didn't really see them kind of around basically because I wasn't looking for them. I mean, they was around, but I just wasn't looking for them. So, only thing we seen was the roast coaches to come to the job or the Mexican food truck to sit around, the neighborhoods and stuff. So I got on Facebook. I found one. I mean, it was a 1975. It was beat up, but I got it because, it's a start. You just want to
Yeah,
get
that's
some
right.
a foundation, right? So we used to call it Old Faithful. That was the name of the food truck. It looked like an old smoker. So I got it. I did a video. I took it to the health department. They were like, nah, you can't have household appliances, in a commercial business. And I was like, well, I didn't know none of this stuff. So I met a fireman, and that's what he did. He specialized in building food trucks. And me and him got together, we collaborate. Man, he came to my house. We did everything at the house. And he got me right. We went to the health department. Boom. I mean, first view, she passed me. And then 2016, January the 1st, that's when our first debut was. We started out at I want to say the flea market on Emerald. It
Yes.
was okay. Then we moved to 31st and Garnett. And man, that's when 31st and Garnett was our spot inside Church of Chicken parking lot. I want to say the trials and tribulations with it was kind of, going from, cooking, what I'm saying, playing around with food to actual
Yeah.
commercial cooking. You know what I'm
Totally
saying? That's a
different.
big man. I did not know nothing about it. And it was hard trying to get help. At that time, people wasn't really trying to help you at all. Like it don't matter who you going to. Like the hardest part we had was trying to find a commissary kitchen. And man, we asked around, I mean, everywhere. We was asking churches, everywhere, could we use it for a commissary kitchen? And it was like a no-go.
Why was it a no? What's a commissary kitchen?
Okay, so a commissary kitchen is basically a commercial kitchen that's approved by the health department. So
Uh-huh.
pretty much mainly like businesses like daycares pretty much have one because it's approved by the health department. Um, Churches, restaurants.
Okay.
So basically, they have access to the things that you can't get,
Right.
like the fresh water, somewhere where you can dump your gray water,
Right.
ice, place where you can clean the food truck at, stuff like that. So this Mexican restaurant me and my wife used to go to all the time, and she just asked him one day, and he was like, "Yeah, I have no problem with it," and that's pretty much how we got past to be able to get out on the road and stuff. So, like I said, we started out just sitting up in a Church of Chicken parking lot on 31st and Garnett. And then we started meeting other food truckers.
Okay.
And they'll come talk to me, of course, they're like, oh my goodness, your food is amazing. You need to get with these people to try to figure out, how do you get into the event? It
Right.
was a thing called the Tulsa food truck page. Man, this woman had like over 20,000 followers on there. So she already built, the
Right.
level that we needed to be at. And so basically people go there and looking for food trucks to do an event or something or to come to their house or anything. So we was trying to figure out how to get in there. She came, helped us out a lot. But man, like I said, the struggles of doing all that was, man, a solid team. Like our team, because see, I was still working a full job. My
Uh,
wife was working a full job. We was both working third shift. My son and my
tough.
daughter was still in school. So it was like, man, I was sleeping like 4 hours a day, literally to try to get the food going, to get everything prepped ready on the food truck. Me and my wife and my kids, everybody, trying to come together to build this company right here.
Right.
And man, to look back from then to today is just like a humble experience and blessings on
Yeah.
blessings.
It is, and people don't really realize that. All they see is the finished product. Like
Exactly, man.
got your storefront now. They saw
Mhm.
maybe you was in the trailer. Now you got a actual brick and mortar, right? They didn't
Yeah,
see the valleys you were in and the hardships and
man,
the
they
sleep
did
that you
not.
get, the sleep that,
Mhm.
right? So it is
Yeah.
it is a hard task. And so what advice do you want to give people that want to get into this? Like I talk to a lot of people, it's like
Uh-huh.
I should open a restaurant, I should do this. But
Yeah.
what are you really telling them about doing this?
Man, I tell them the real, I tell them, we usually like I help one of my friends, he started his business as well. He started Root Chicken. And I mean he's a hit. So really you have to plan. Number one is plan, preparation. Man, don't overdo it though, because when you overdo it, you're gonna take so long to get started. Somebody else gonna come out with the concept that you already really wanted to do.
Yeah.
So just plan and go for it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But make sure you have a support team. Because without no support team, I mean, a real support team, not
Yeah.
people that's going to be yes people. I mean, you want to hear them no's because the no's make you better.
Yeah.
No's make you grind harder. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people veer away from people that's telling them no because they thinking they criticizing them and stuff. are critiquing them, but you got to look at them things as a formula to make you better. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? To help you get stronger. Because when you get out here and you get some of these customers, if you ain't used to somebody telling you no, boy, hey, some customers ain't no joke. You know, they're gonna tell you the real. You got to be ready for that. And I think the biggest thing is, you know, communication and being a part of the community as well, because that'll help you. And try nowadays, man, you got so many help systems right now that's trying to help you get in there. But I always tell them to come talk to me, because, you know, I tell you everything that you need step by step, because it's no reason not to. It's enough for everybody here in the community. It
Right.
is. It's enough.
I
So the
believe.
money is not stopping. So look, it's enough for all of us to get a part of this.
I love it.
This money right here, this money bag.
Yeah. So going from a trailer to an actual facility, right? So you can take your trailer, you can go to any spot. You can show up at events. You can
Yeah.
be anywhere. So when you get into this in your place, set up in an actual business, in an actual building, how difficult was that change to go into the store? Like, did your customers follow you to the store? Did it take a while to build up? How does that work?
Okay, so all right, we're gonna back up. Okay, so I got a food truck, and then a trailer, and then another food truck, then a restaurant. All right, so the thing is staying consistent, right? So I'm big on social media, you know, I'm big on live. So people want to see that journey. So long as you showing them the step by step, you know, people feel like they're building and growing with you. So the transition was not hard. I'm gonna tell you why, because we didn't make a huge transition. Ours was just baby steps. You know what I'm saying? If you move too fast, you're gonna miss a lot of people. But when you take them small steps, shoot, they can hold your hand and step with you.
That's right.
So when we went to, you know, 31st and Garnett to 31st of Sheridan, small step, right? So then we moved from 31st to Sheridan to inside that mall when we was just sitting right around the corner in that pawn shop parking lot. So our thing was, I didn't want to move so far where the transition of our customers is gonna be like, oh man, where do they go? Where, you know, and then they like, that's too far. Because
Right.
we kind of lost some people from just moving from
Yeah.
literally, it's 2 miles. That's it. We lost people from moving from 31st to Garnett to 31st and Sheridan. Because, you know, some people in there, they were like, well, I can't even come on my lunch. You know, so they would just come on their lunch, and you got a high traffic. So when you're in a food truck, you kind of want to be by a high traffic area. They say location, location, location. I say that's an 80-20, right? Because people is willing to travel for good food.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So when you want to transition, you want to make sure you have 3 things. You want to have quantity, customer service, and quality, customer service, quantity. I call it QCQ. And that's what we stand on. That's what we build. That's what I go by. Because if you don't have them, nobody don't have nothing to believe in. That you just talking pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna see that in the food. So the transition is the biggest part is employees. Now I'm gonna just be honest. Like when you,
I can imagine.
so when you going, you know, you go from it's just you and your family, right? You and your family, now you need help. So the win is, I say start small. Why? Because you learn how to work a lot with a small space. So that was a blessing. When we started from the food truck, man, when you're doing 300-400 people, you know, at an event, an hour. So when you go to a restaurant, you got more space, you know, so you got to run a little bit more. You good with working with less people.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I would have started from a restaurant, I wouldn't know how to, you know, manage that big space with, you know what I'm saying, little people versus you need a big team.
Right.
And you ain't got that revenue to handle that big team.
Right. That's right.
I say, you know, you got to pay attention to your books. Man, that's your key. That's your foundation, because it tells you, you know, really which way you can wiggle and to sit still. Like they say, sometimes just sit still. Because if I didn't want to move too fast at doing, you know, my move, but I mean, it was fast, but to me, it was like my slow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
we have to do things at our pace, what we think is best for us.
exactly.
And I think that what you did, like, it worked. So
Yeah.
obviously it worked for you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I tell you, man, hey, people do not want to work nowadays. You know, they do not. So that's the biggest. I want to say anybody that's trying to get into the restaurant industry, your hardest thing is going to be employee because the mindset of working is not what it used to be. You know,
Right.
you got people that just want to work for that day. You got some people that they tell you they coming and they don't show up. I had a guy that came to a whole interview and
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay, give him a time to start. Now he didn't show up. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? When you're the owner, you're in there doing them dishes. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with it. You know, you
But
learning how to measure people really.
yeah, it's really difficult, I think, to get people like the business, it's your business, right? So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times they just there for the check. So
Yeah,
it's really hard to find somebody that's really in tune to it like you are because that's yours. So
exactly.
if that means washing the dishes, if that means cleaning up, the whole place at night, if that means waiting tables, then
Mm-hmm.
you got to stay consistent and people will come. They'll
Yeah,
come.
that's true.
But in a restaurant business, would you say that the turnover is way higher than any business, like as far as employees?
Um, no, it's not the. I say it's the not the highest because I used to work at the bus plant, right? And people would go to the. They'd say, "I got to go to the bathroom," and they gone. You know what I'm saying?
I think, yeah,
For real.
yeah.
So the restaurant, I say that is second. So real hard labor and the heat and all that, the restaurant is second, right next to that because people. Some people just don't want to deal with customers. Some people don't really want to deal with food. It's a lot of people feel uncomfortable and pressured. You know what I'm saying? Because that's them four walls, and that's all you see at that moment.
Mhm.
But we created something different. We created a family atmosphere. So either that's why I call it's the Alpha Pack, the Alpha Team, Chef Alpha. It's my little small community. You know what I'm saying? It's my little family. So we try to bond with everybody and treat them just like family do. But some people have a problem you know.
Yeah.
So employees, that's the hardest thing right now on the market is finding people that really want to work. It ain't even the fact that caring, I mean just working, period. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because some people, you know how it is, you coming to work, you just coming for a check, you still gonna do the job. Man,
Mhm.
some of these people don't even care for the check. They don't even care, period. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird nowadays. It is.
Yeah. So where do you see Alpha Grill, say, in the next 3 years? Like, what's your plan forward?
Man, my plan forward is getting to Texas, and
Oh,
branching off and franchising, um, having merchandise, bringing my sauce and my rub out. We got T-shirts and stuff. Either we have them at Top That Mac too. So, man, pretty much is to franchise, to
okay.
build, have my home base here, my little family. This is our nest egg. This is where we started. But then basically just go all over the world and franchise.
Wow. Yeah. Well, it's not impossible, and we wish you nothing but the best over here. Go ahead and tell the people how they can reach you on social media sites. Like, I follow you and I see you on your lives, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So look, when I tell y'all we on all social media platforms, I mean Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter, I mean Facebook, we everywhere.
That's
So
good.
we really fit to start our YouTube channel. We got a podcast channel. It's called Chef Alpha with the Alpha Pack. But man, email us alphagrill15 at yahoo.com, website alphagrillbbq.net. You can order online. Matter of fact, guess what? We have an app for Androids and iPhones.
All right.
So
So you
yeah,
got it going on. Yeah.
yeah. Matter of fact, Top That Mac, same thing. You can follow us social media all over. We don't have our website up yet or the app's going yet, but that's coming soon. That's the biggest thing we're trying to build up Top That Mac, bring them gourmet mac and cheese with a twist, pretty
Yep.
much.
Now, where's Top That Mac at?
That's inside Mall 31 on 31st and Sheridan.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was our first restaurant for Alpha Grill. We just turned it into Top That Mac, and they're only 10 minutes away.
Okay. Cool. Well, again, we wish you nothing but the best. If we can be, your platform to advertise anything you got going on, specials, whatever, let us know. We're glad to do that. We shout you out all the time. We're in the middle of promoting businesses, and Alpha Grill was the
Okay.
first business that we promoted. And so we appreciate you for everything. So we're going to go for now, y'all. But remember, respect yourself, respect each other. God bless.
Thank you for having us. Thank you so much.